Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is December 24th, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. In today's segment, we'll take a look at stocks with very high short ratio. As many of you know, when the short ratio is very high, under certain circumstances, stock can really go higher and squeeze those short sellers. That's why it's called short squeeze, and a lot of people love to play short squeeze game. So with that, let's jump in and look at how to squeeze those short sellers and go from there. Look, from an overall market perspective, market has done okay on Friday. Look, nice uptick here. Dow Jones up 176, Nasdaq also up as you can see here, and S&P 500 also up for the day. And as you look through the futures market here, just to see how the market has been doing, you can click on the indices. Look, from an indices perspective, we got October, November, December, 3 months here. Look, Dow Jones Industrial Average, it did nothing much in last 3 months or so. Since November, it's been coming down as you can see here, and S&P 500 is it's going down in last 3 months or so. And Nasdaq is a big time down as you can see here, and we got Russell also down, and we got other indices like Japan Nikkei is down big time as you can see here. Europe also, look, it's not doing great off late, and same story with DAX, and VIX is slightly going higher, which is again because of volatility. So with this, let's jump in here and look at stocks with very high short ratio. Look, if you want to look at the stocks with very high short ratio, you can go to FinViz. FinViz is a great scanner. So what I've done is I created a preset here, and I got here short interest right here. So if I click on short interest, you can see my criteria. Simple criteria. I got here stock short float over 10% as you can see here, and current volume over 1 million shares traded. That's pretty much very simple criteria. It basically lists out all the stocks that matches this criteria. So then I would go in here, because even if you don't have FinViz Elite platform or a subscription, you can go into the ownership here, and it will tell you the short float. Look, we got short float here, and look at the top, we got Apron, Carvana, and so on and so forth here. Apron, as you can see here, right now it's below $1. It's 97 cents as you can see here. It's going into the penny stock territory as you can see here. And we got Carvana, nice 45%. And so on and so forth as you can see here. And if you got FinViz Elite membership, you could go click on the custom here and look at a nice window here. I got few things here. I got the price to sales ratio, price to earning ratio, the sales growth. I would love to look at sales growth, and quarter over quarter sales growth, how much it is it increasing, decreasing, good to know. The float, insider transactions, institutional transaction, these are pretty much very specific to FinViz here. You don't find these in many platforms. And then you got short float. Again, you don't find it in many platforms. Some platforms like FinViz, Fintel, and we got Overtax, and some platforms provide, but not many platforms. You would not see short float in platforms like Trade Ideas or platforms like say bar chart. And then you got other things like current ratio and so on and so forth here. So this is my criteria. If you want to play along with this, you could go into FinViz, and if you want an elite subscription, which is about say $300 or so per year, you could get in and get it. Otherwise, even if you want to look at the free platform, just remember to go into the ownership tab here, and you could see the short float ratio and go from there. Look, we got short float ratio right here. You could look at that and go from there. All right, so with this here, I will take you to an Excel spreadsheet where we can make some sense here, because I look at data from FinViz, Fintel, TradingView, and StockRover, and bring them all together using Excel spreadsheet magic. So with that, I'll jump in and get started. Look, we got here an Excel spreadsheet here. What I've done is, if you got an upper section here, this is just a summary. Yeah, it shows you some data for each row. As I change the row, it provides the data for that row. For example, right now I'm in Silvergate. It provides the relevant information for Silvergate. The reason we have this top section is you can't have so many rows. It's very hard to look at, multiple columns. That's why you got some simple summary on the top here. So as I move around, you can see the summary, detailed summary for the row on the top here in the first 3 rows. So with that, let's jump in here and get started. Look, I got here simple spreadsheet here. What I will do is, we got a lot of data. I will cut to the chase here and go into the short squeeze related data. Look, I can just keep going here and go into the short squeeze data. And look, we got short squeeze right here. We got short. Look, we got short here. So I have sorted this by descending order. Stock at the top here has got highest shorts ratio here, or a short float. That's Carvana. I also made sure we don't have penny stocks here, because penny stocks are really very hard at times because they get manipulated. These are stocks with the price more than $1, so that way we can play the short squeeze game and go from there. Look, top of the list here, we got Carvana. And Carvana, as many of you know here, stock has been, trying to see if they're trying to wonder if they want to go on a bankruptcy protection. Most probably they will go into bankruptcy protection, mainly because, look, they got a very high, very high a very high debt load here. As you scan through here, debt to equity ratio, look at the debt to equity ratio for Carvana. It's 24.2. That tells you that their debt is 24 times more than the equity. That's a very big recipe for disaster here. Even though their current ratio, as you can see here, is 2.4, that tells you they have enough money to satisfy current obligations. That's a good thing here, but they have a lot of debt load. That's why this company might go into bankruptcy protection. Look, right now the short ratio here is 45%. That's a great, very high short ratio. And from an analyst perspective, there is one analyst saying buy Carvana. Number of analysts is very low, just one, so I would discount it off the bat here. And there is also a target price of $16 for the Carvana here. And as you scan through here, I made sure volume is more than 500,000 for all these stocks here. Look, for Carvana, volume is 7 million shares traded on Friday. But if you look at the volume here, volume is drying up. Look, 10-day volume, 30-day volume, 60-day volume, and 90-day volume. They're respectively below the current Friday's volume here. For example, 10-day volume, the current volume is 56% less than 10-day volume. That tells you volume is drying up, so you got to be a little bit careful. And look, from a performance perspective, look here, we got performance which is a negative in 1 day, 5 day, 10 day, whatever way you look at it. In 2 years, it's a 99% performance here, negative 99%. Stock has been, losing its value big time, as you can see here. It's a free cash flow negative company, so that's why you got to be careful here. And few things to know if you're a short squeeze type player here. Look at the short squeeze score here. It's a 93.53. That tells you this has got a potential for a short squeeze. The float itself is relatively low here, 96 million shares, as you can see here. And look, days to cover, which is very important. If you want to play short squeeze game here, always pay attention to days to cover. This tells you if there is a short squeeze, if the stock tries to go higher right now, there is a 3.27 days to cover those short volume by looking at the average volume. So that tells you this short squeeze can stay for at least 3 days if the stock starts going higher. That's why you got to look at such names here where days to cover is slightly higher. And we got short squeeze score also relatively higher. So there's a potential for this here. But if you look at the options market here, look net delta. for this stock here, Carvana, is negative 129,000, as you can see here. So that tells you right now, from a option market perspective, folks are really, at least folks are buying put option. And as you see here, put call volume is 1.03. That tells you on Friday more people bought put than call. And put call open interest is pretty okay here, pretty healthy, but it's trending bearish because put call volume, which is the volume of puts versus calls on Friday, is 1.03. Tells you more put options are being bought because folks are thinking this stock will go down. And volume or open interest is low here. That tells you relatively lower volume. All right, so with that, look, option volume is also pretty low here. Option volume is 27,990, which is okay, not too bad, but it's relatively low. So with that, that's the Carvana here. Be a little bit careful here because I'm a little bit worried about their debt to equity ratio, which is super high. That's a little bit concern for me. But look, stock has been going down of late here. Wait for stock to go higher in one day, then you can pick it up. But right now, stock is not done going lower. Let it show some positive uptick here, then you can buy Carvana. And then you got Mobileye here. This is really Intel spun off this company here, and as you can see here, Mobileye has been going higher of late here. Look, it's been going higher in 1 day, 5 day, 10 day. Look, it's going high pretty well. Even 1 month it's been going high. On this one here, we don't have too much data because it's relatively new spin-off from Intel. I would wait for maybe a couple months or so. But if you want to buy this, wait for a slight downtick here for the stock to come down slightly. Then you can buy Mobileye. It's a good stock here. It's into electric vehicles, basically automation systems for EV. I think it's a good play here, but you could wait and buy on a slightly down day here. And then we got a few more here. We'll basically do some more filters here and look at few names here. And if you like cryptocurrency here, look, we got SI, which is a Silvergate. Silvergate is a great stock. It used to do very well. They are a bank that supports cryptocurrencies. Stock has been down big time here. Look at the performance of SI Silvergate here. It's been down big time. I used to own it long time ago. Look, it's down big time here. And you got to be careful here. They do have positive free cash flow, as you can see here. But look, stock has been down big time here. So, if you are a crypto enthusiast, you could buy some SI. I like SI at these levels. I might look into buying some SI here. And look, as you look through here, it does not have too many data here when it comes to days to cover. Stock has been going down. If you want to buy SI, I would like you to wait slightly for an uptick here on a 1 day or 5 day, and then you can buy Silvergate. I would not catch a falling knife here. And then we got a few more here. Pay attention to RSI also here. From an RSI perspective, look, RSI 14 day for Silvergate is 24. RSI 7 day is 17. That tells you it's completely sold off here. At this time, you can buy into SI Silvergate here because it's completely sold off here. Look at that RSI, completely oversold. And IV rank is very high for those folks who want to sell some put option under the current stock price. You could do it mainly because IV rank is very high. But on the other side here, look, there is not too much option volume here, and there is a good open interest, not great, it's okay open interest here. So you could look at selling some put option when you see high IV rank here in case of stocks like SI. And then you got a few more here. Keep watching here. Beyond Meat. Many of you know Beyond Meat here. This used to be very good. They want to really go with the natural supplement versus animal-based food. They want to go with the plant-based food here. As you scan through here, even this one here, look at the volume here. Volume is drying off here. Volume 10 day. Current volume is below 15% of the 10-day volume, and so on and so forth here. Volume is drying off in Beyond Meat, and look, stock has been coming down. So when you see these things happening here, be a little bit careful here. Don't jump in right away. Wait slightly, let it stabilize. On the other hand, look at the squeeze score here. Squeeze score is 84.89. That tells you there's a high chance of this stock can squeeze. And also look at the days to cover. Days to cover is very high for Beyond Meat here. That tells you if this stock does have a squeeze, it can go for at least 17 days or so by looking at the current volume and the average current short volume and the average volume. So this might have some legs here if it starts going higher. So if you're a speculator, you could look at Beyond Meat here and wait for it to stabilize slightly, and you could buy some Beyond Meat here. And then you got a few more here. We got a few more plays like Marathon Digital, and we got BBBY. I know many of you like BBBY. As you look through BBBY here, look at the short squeeze score here for BBBY. We got a short squeeze score 75, pretty good here. Look at the gamma squeeze score, that's pretty high here. So that's why, in here, because of the high gamma squeeze score and also high short squeeze score, days to cover is 4.90. This tells you that it takes about 5 days to cover. So this also has got some potential for a short squeeze. I like this one better here because look, on Friday, BBBY went higher. So that tells you probably short squeeze might have been started slowly. So you could slightly go into it. But look, volume is not there yet. It's still down. Current volume is 25% below 10-day average volume, and so on and so forth. Here, volume is dying off here. But look, there is a very healthy option open interest here that tells you in the options market, folks are really buying into this stock here, BBBY. Lot of options here, and relative volume is relative RSI, relative strength index, is slightly down here compared to the 7 days, relatively down compared to 14-day. That tells you it's slightly getting weaker, so you got to be slightly careful. But overall, I think this is a little bit better play here. Look at the put call volume here. It's a 0.24. Folks are buying more call option. Put call open interest here, again slightly much below 1. That tells you even though there is a high option open interest, most people are buying call options. That's why look, the delta itself is negative. When the delta is negative, that tells you net delta is negative. That tells you folks are really a little bit bearish on the stock. But by looking at volume here, probably folks are really selling the call at the top here. They're selling call option. That might be the reason why the net delta is negative, but put call ratio is below 1. And we got a few more here. We'll not look at all these things here. What we'll do now is we'll look at short squeeze score here. Look at a little bit higher short squeeze score and go from there. Look, we'll say short squeeze score here over 70%, so that we at least we get some good stocks here. All right, let's give it a minute here. 70%. All right. All right, so now we got short squeeze score above 70%, as you can see here. And you could look at these names here. Look, we got short squeeze score right here. All of them are above 70%. And as you look through here, we got short the days to cover here. Days to cover is pretty much more than 1, as you can see here. That tells you if there is a short squeeze that can last for many days. In some situations, like Beyond Meat, it can go slightly higher. And also keep a watch on the borrow rate here. The moment borrow rate is high, for example, right here, look, borrow rate is very high. That tells you folks who want to short, they have to pay too much money to borrow. That's why they will be exiting out as the stock goes higher. Case in point, look, BBBY stock is trying to go higher, and the folks who are buying it, they're paying 7.79, not too much. That's why they might exit out, or they might have some more. They might stay a little longer because borrow rate is lower. But look, beyond meat borrow rate is very high here. If this starts going higher, it will really go high quickly. And then you got stocks like Upstart here. Look, very high borrow rate here. And also keep a watch on 1 day and 5 day. The moment you see some positive uptick here in 1 day, 5 day, look, we got few names here. We got Beyond Meat here, and then you got VTNR. Look, VTNR has already started going higher, as you can see here, and VTNR volume is slightly dried up, as you can see here. Its the volume is below its 10-day volume and 30-day volume, so on and so forth. But look, stock is going higher, and there is a high short squeeze score here, and it's not very active in the options market. That's why you don't see gamma squeeze score here, and open interest is slightly lower. It's not hyper active in the options market. That's why stocks like VTNR, this can go higher, given given it's got a little bit higher short squeeze score, and borrow rate is not too much. But look at the days to cover here, 9 days, so it can go higher for a few more days here, and squeeze those short sellers. And then you got a few more as you scan through here. Keep watching the short squeeze score here, and days to cover. Look at Fisker. Fisker has got a lot of 11 days to cover, as you can see here. Short squeeze score is higher, not super active in the options market. As I click on Fisker here, look, we got Fisker coming up here, and IV rank is very low. Open interest is pretty okay here, not too bad here. And you could look at this one also. Look, Fisker, look at the put call volume here. It's bearish at this time here. A lot of people are really buying put options. That's why put call volume is high here. And look at the put call open interest, still high. Tells you a lot of people are buying put options. Net delta is negative. That tells you folks are really, actually folks are buying put options. That's why net delta is also negative. So whenever there is a net delta negative, that tells you folks like us, the retail traders, are buying these put options. But who is selling put options to them? It's a market maker or the dealer. Now dealers are positive net delta. That's why the moment you see net delta negative, that tells you this can really go higher. As stock goes higher, these brokers or option market makers, they might cover their short, and stock can go higher. That's why whenever there's a negative delta, which means it's a positive delta for the market maker, because market maker is a positive delta, they will end up shorting the stock. Because they shorted the stock, if the stock goes higher, they will start covering. And that's why stock with the net delta negative, they have a tendency to go higher as stock goes higher. That's why stocks like Fisker, this can create the short squeeze. If the stock goes higher, dealer will really cover their shorts, and it can even go higher. And then you got a few more here. Keep a look at stocks like NKLA here. Same story. Even NKLA, look, it's got nice high short squeeze score. Look at the gamma squeeze score in NKLA, pretty good here. And look at the open interest in the options market. Very high open interest for NKLA. And look, volume is drying up as usual. It's the Christmas weekend, as many of you know here. But look, it's also in a net delta negative. This tells you if this goes higher, market maker will start buying the stock to cover their short positions, and it can go higher. As you can see here, it's already started going higher in 1 day, 5 day, and so on and so forth here. And even now here, days to cover is 10.47, and that tells you it can even go higher for a few more days to go. And we got a few more. One of my favorite here, we got Editas. I like this one also here. Look, we got Editas right here, and this one also has got a high short squeeze score. Days to cover is 14, and look, stock is not done going lower. You could wait for a few days here. If this goes higher, you could buy some. And this one right now, look, net delta is positive. That tells you, folks are buying call options. Look at the open interest, pretty healthy open interest. A lot of people are holding the options contracts. Net delta is positive. That tells you they're buying call options. And put call volume here is 0.23. It tells you more folks are buying the call options. That tells you, even this can go higher. Folks are slowly warming up to this and buying the call options. That's why this can go higher. Look, it's down 3%. It can slowly start going higher. You can start slowly accumulating this one also. And then you got a few more here as usual. Keep a watch on float also. The moment float is low, that tells you these are low float names here. Look, we got low float names. We got one here, BBBY, low float, as you can see here. And we got a few more with the low float here. Keep a watch on low floats also. They can also go higher. All right, so for the folks who are geeks when it comes to options, you could also look at open interest here. Look, I got an open interest right here, open interest. So if you're an options person here, I would say, look at the open interest here. So open interest greater than, say, 1 million here. All right, so we got more than 1 million here. If you're an options person here, look at these ones here, because these stocks have got high short ratio. Look at the first few of them here, all high short ratio, as you can see here. And open interest in the options market is more than 1 million. So that's why, those are the good ones here. You could look at those here. Look, we got few names here. If you're active in the options market, look, BBBY. Look at that, nice and high open interest here. 1.4 million contracts held by traders, and right now net delta negative. That's why if this starts going higher, look, it already starts going higher. Market makers will start covering their short positions. It can go still higher. And we got few more like NKLA, GameStop, AMC. Look, these are meme stocks, as many of you know here. And look, even GameStop right now, as you look through here, let's click on GameStop. Look at the open interest here, 1.4 million shares, open interest on 1.4 million options contracts here. And look what's going on here. Put call volume ratio 0.24 tells you more folks are really trading the call options, as you can see here. Could be some folks are selling call options. That's a possibility. But that resulted in net delta negative. So broker is holding on the short position here, and brokers will start covering it as stock goes higher. Look, GameStop already start going higher in 1 day here. If it starts going higher, the market maker will start covering it in addition to the short sellers. Look at the days to cover, 14. This can have a sustained uptick here. It can go up at least 14 days with the current short volume and the current average volume. Look, borrow rate is relatively high here, 19, but not as high as NKLA and not as AMC. Look, AMC is the next one here. Again, very active in the options market, like many of you know here. Look, 2.6 million open interest from a contract perspective, pretty healthy here. From a RSI perspective, RSI is coming down. That tells you stock is going down here. Look, you can see right here in 1 day, 5 day, even 10 day, and so on and so forth. This is negative. But AMC, look at the days to cover, 3 days, not too much here. But look at the borrow rate. Borrow rate is high here. So this one, I would say, wait for a day or two, let it settle down here, because still not done going down here. You could wait for this to slightly stabilize, but if you're a little bit longer term type person here, you could slowly start buying. Look at the RSI here, RSI 20 in 7 day compared to 29 in 14 day. It tells you stock is getting clobbered here. You could slowly start building a position in AMC here. This can also go higher. And we've got a few more here. We've got RIG. Transocean, as many of you know here, this used to be the market darling while ago when stock market was going high here. But rig has got a nice open interest, looks nice, 1.3 million open interest in the option market here. Look, this one is getting stronger. Look, 14-day RSI 63, 7-day RSI 69. Stock is getting stronger. Look at the performance, nice performance, already in a nice stock squeeze type mode, as you can see here. And look at the shorts days to cover. It can go higher for some more days. Got 7.90 as days to cover. It can go some more days here, but the borrow rate is very low. Borrowers are not too much worried because of the low borrow rate here. And look at the float. Float is too high here, so you don't need to probably participate here. Train has left the station here because look, RSI 63 and 69 in 7 days. I would say wait for this to come down. Don't go right now. Given look, short itself is let's see here, short ratio is 19%, still high, but plane has left the station right now. And I've got a few more here. Look, AAL, American Airlines. This could be a good one also as we scan through here. Look, days to cover is 4 days. Stocks just started going higher. Volume is low, as you can see here. 10-day volume is current volume is 38% below 10-day volume, and so on and so forth here. But from an RSI perspective, it tells you it's getting stabilized here. RSI 14 days 41, RSI 7 days 40. You can look at this one also. Slowly start buying. I think these airlines can do well because folks are starting to fly off late here. That could be a good one here. And we've got a few more here. We've got cruise liner here, Carnival Cruise, as you can see here. And Carnival Cruise also, look at that option open interest here. Nice option open interest here. Analysts are saying hold, just 2 analysts covering this one here. Price target is 15.90. Look at the current price, just $7. And volume is drying up as usual. Look at the put call open interest, bearish. A lot of people are buying put options. Delta is positive. That tells you folks are really long on this one here. So could be okay to slowly start buying, but I would look, it's down just 0.9% in 1 day. And look, days to cover is 2.59. That tells you this will not have a huge rally here because days to cover is lower compared to NKLA and GameStop. GameStop has got the highest days to cover in this list here. That could be one that you can slowly look at. And you can also look at NKLA, as you see here. Alright, so what we'll do now is we'll look at a few names in little more detail. For that, we'll go into my favorite platform, which is tradytics.com. Alright, let's jump in here to tradytics.com here and look at few names. So what we'll do is first we'll look at AMC here and go from there. So we'll go to stocks here and bring up AMC. So let's start with GameStop. Let's start with GameStop here, GME. And look, what we'll do is we'll look at time frame. We'll go with the 30-minute time frame here. We'll get about 5-10 days here. As you see here, we got all the way from 5th of December to 23rd of December. That's good enough here. And what we'll do is we'll look at the Greek levels, one of my favorites. And we look at the spot gamma exposure levels. And let's say monthly here, so that way we just look at monthly ones here, or we could even say all. Let's do all. Alright, so we got gamma exposure levels here. So what this is telling you is really right now current stock price for GameStop is $20. As you can see here, it's up 1.3% on Friday. And you can see here P ratio is negative, revenue is 5.9 billion. And right now debt to equity is relatively high, as you can see here. They got more debt compared to equity. So position is fundamental perspective not great. And what we'll also do is we'll bring up dark pool levels and go from there. Look from a dark pool perspective. Let's go into a bi-weekly dark pool activity here. And All right, we got dark pool also. Look, the way it's set up right now is stock price is about $20, as you can see here, 20.08. And the way it is set up right now is look at this gamma exposure level. Right here, look, we got gamma exposure level at 20. This 20 level here can be a good support level here, or this could also act as a resistance. That's why, look, the moment it went about 20 here, it came down. It's been testing this 20 level for a while. This 20 level here is a magnet because of the high gamma exposure. It can pull the stock towards this 20. And look, we got from a dark pool perspective, look at the negative dark pool activities here. There are a lot of bids, 773K, 613K, negative dark pool activities. And we do have some positive dark pool activity. That's why, because of the dark pool activity, it's it's really becoming hard for this GameStop stock to go over the 20 hump here. That's why the moment it crosses 20 here, you could see a sure shot jump all the way to 25. Look at this here, there is nothing here. So if it crosses 20 for a couple of days, its next stop is 25. Look, there's a nice gamma squeeze activity here. It can come to 25. That's how it is set up here. This 20, it's been struggling for a while here because of this huge gamma exposure and also a lot of these dark pool bids. That tells you in the dark market, folks are really selling the GameStop at at this 20, 24.4, 20.8. The moment it crushes these guys, it can go to this higher level. All right, so next we can look at some of this data here. Look, this tradeetics.com gets some short volume. This is the short sales volume data. From a short sales volume data perspective, right now short sales volume relatively lower, as you can see here. Right now it's relatively low, as you can see here. So that's why right now it's a little bit struggling here. And so the moment it crosses 20 for a day or two, then it can go higher. And then what we'll do is we'll go back here to options here. We'll go to options ticker dashboard and go from there. And we'll bring up GME as usual, GameStop, and look at the options activity. And I love this platform to look at the options activity, one of my favorite here. And look, from a net premium perspective, we got negative net premium, and put call ratio perspective, more folks are buying put option. That's why call option is just 45% and 55% is put option. That's why overall flow is bearish, as you can see here. And as you scan through here, look, right now it's a bearish. Look, this net flow line here, which is this line going here, going down big time. That's why right now net flow, which is net of call and put, net premium is going below here. That tells you bearish sentiment. And as you scan through here, we'll skip some of these things here and look at the net flow here. Net flow, look, the red line is jumping up here. That tells you the put option buying is taking on here. It's going higher, whereas call option buying is going lower in GameStop here. And as you scan through here, it tells you put volume. Right now, still call volume is higher than the put volume. One day basis, it's still higher but trending down, as you can see here. But still call volume is higher than the put volume here. And look, there is some positive sentiment here. Look, the call open interest, which is contracts held by the customers, is going higher. It's going higher more than put open interest. That tells you this can go over the call open put open interest, and that can create that short squeeze that we have been waiting for. And then we'll jump into this one here, open interest by strike. Look, a lot of people are holding GME here. Look at the GME here. Look at 225. Look at the open interest at 225 stock price here. That tells you folks are really holding on to GME even at 225 strike price when the current stock price is just at 20. And look at $25 is a nice and high call open interest here that tells you if the stock can go above 20 for a couple days here. The put open interest is high at 20.5 and even 21.25 and 23. The moment it crosses this 23 and 24 at 25 and over, we got more call open interests. From this point onwards, call interest is more. That's why the moment it crosses over like 20, 21, 22, then it can go higher. That's how it's set up at this time here. And then we'll go into dealer Greek build-up here. Look, from a dealer's perspective, dealers are sitting on the positive delta. As you can see here, look at the dealer delta here. Dealers are sitting on the positive delta. That tells you the investors and traders like us, we are really buying put options or selling call option. That's why dealer is sitting on the short delta, long delta. The moment dealer is on long delta, dealer wants to be delta neutral. As many of you know here, they will be really shorting the stock. Because they're shorting the stock here, if the stock going higher, they will cover the shorts, and it can go slightly higher. So that's why the moment dealer is positive here, it's a more you got to be slightly careful here, because the dealer, because they have positive delta, they will be shorting and they'll be supporting the market direction here. If the market goes down, it can go lower. If the market goes higher, they will support that too. Basically dealer is a positive delta here. All right, so next we'll look at the gamma here. By looking at this here, this is a good correlation here. Right now we are at delta 0.5 and look, it's not too much volatility. At the moment delta is positive, it's really buy the dip and sell the rip type sentiment, and the volatility itself will be slightly lower here. All right, next we'll go into the gamma exposure levels here. Now we could even look at the spot GEX here. That gives a little bit better idea. Look, from a spot GEX perspective, look at right here. Look, we are at 20 here. 20 is a great level here at I think it's at level 0.3 here. This will be a magnet. This will pull the stock toward this one. That's why the moment it crosses is 2021, next stop is 25. But right now, with all the negative dark pool activities going on here, this is becoming a big big hurdle. But on the positive side, it just crossed the 20. The moment it crossed the 20 and slightly starts going higher, next stop is right here at 25. That's why this could be a good one for a little bit longer term here from an option sentiment perspective. All right, next we'll go into a few more here and we'll look at we'll look at one or two more here. Let's look at AMC. AMC, as many of you know, it's a very good short squeeze candidate, very active in the option market also. So let's look at same criteria. 30 days will give us a couple of days to work with, and we'll look at the charts. Look at the Greek levels here. Let's look at spot GEX. All right, so we'll look at all. All right, so now we'll look at the dark pool levels here, and we can look at bi-weekly dark pool levels, and that should be good enough here. Look, the way this is set up is, look, AMC is at $4, down 10% on Friday. Ouch, that must hurt big time. And look, from a levels perspective, this has got some good buy going on here in the dark pool level here. Look, there is a positive dark pool, 866k, 703k, and so on and so forth here. And the current price, like we talked about here, 4.40. And look, it's got a nice support level here at $5. Look at the nice support level here. And one of the main issues, look at this big dark pool at 4.3 here. We got nice and high 1.12 million dark pool at 4.3 here, and the current stock price is 4.4. This dark pool level is pulling the stock towards this 4.3 level. That's why it came down. The moment it kind of clears this hurdle here, then it can go higher, because look, the combined dark pool activity at 4.7 is much higher. That's why this 4.3 can prove to be a nice support level, and it can bounce off to say 4.6, 4.7, 5.0 level because of this nice and high positive dark pool activity. But then the moment it goes to 5.2, look, it's got some negative dark pool activity. This will be acting as a 5.2 level, will act as a nice resistance level for this one here. All right, now let's go into AMC and look at the options activity and go from there. All right, so AMC from an options perspective, let's wait for this to come up here. Look, net flow here is negative. That tells you sentiment is negative right now from an options perspective. Look, stock is going higher slightly. That's the good news here. And we are talking about AMC here. And as you scan through here from a net flow perspective, looks like negative, negative here. Net of net premium perspective in the put premium, the folks are really buying put options. That's why the red line is going higher, and blue line is almost toward the flat line here. The put activity buying is going higher, so that's why right now it's bearish. That's the net perspective, but look, for call buying is also happening, as you can see here, and put buying is also happening. Put buying is a little bit steeper when it comes to open interest. And look at this here. This is a tell here. Look, call option buying, call volume on Friday here came down drastically, and put volume went up. So this tells you currently folks are turning bearish on AMC here. All right, we'll skip all these things and go into open interest. I love to look at open interest here. Stock, as you see here, about stock price is about say right here 4.40, and if you come down here and look at here, look, about 4, we got a lot of negative put option activity going on here at 6.5, 5.5, 4.5, so on and so forth here. These high put options, it's causing stock to really come down here. But look at this nice and high open interest on the call side at 8.0 here. The moment it crosses the 6.5 hurdle here, then it can go higher because positive call options are increasing here. That's why, by looking at this here, the right here 6.0 is a big hurdle for this. Even 4.5 is a big hurdle. So with that, let's jump in here and look at dealer delta here. From a dealer delta perspective, look, dealer delta is winding down here. I like it when it winds down here. It's almost to the 0 level here, as you can see here. And look, the moment dealer delta goes negative, look, it wind down, it became negative. The moment dealer delta becomes negative, stock can go higher. So I suspect the same thing happening here. Dealer delta is coming negative, and by looking at the previous, here dealer delta coming negative, stock can go higher. That's why this has a potential to go higher as dealer delta becomes negative in a day or two. All right, now let's look at the gamma exposure level. Look, from a gamma exposure level, I love this one here. Look, we got the level here at 5. 5 has got great gamma exposure level. Look at that 0.6. It's a pretty big bar here. The way it's set up is AMC is set up to go to $5. So that's how it's set up. Because of this high gamma exposure level, this can go to 5 pretty quickly. This level 5 can be acting as a magnet. So you could also look at the spot GEX here. I love to look at spot GEX. Let's look at the spot GEX here. From a spot GEX perspective, look, the moment you do the spot GEX here, the negative bar, because it's above the current price, becomes a positive bar here. So this 5 here, this can be a good level here. It can try to reach to this level here. That's how it's set up in a big level here. So this could be a good level where it can go, given it passes through the current hurdle. All right, that's about this one here. Let's look at one more, which is a BBBY, and go from there. Bed Bath and Beyond it is. Look what's going on here from a stock perspective. Let's go to time frame 30-minute. All right, let's go to the Greek level here and look at the spot gamma, and let's go to all, and we can go to dark pool levels as usual and look at the bi-weekly dark pool levels. All right, we got our chart right here. Look what's going on here. We got a stock which is at say 2.58, very low price as you can see here, and look, there is a positive dark pool activity at 3.2 as you can see here, which is almost at 2.58. This is 3.2. There is a good positive activity here, and there is also some negative activity going on here. So right now I think this level can be a good support level for this one here, and it can try to go to 3.2 from here with the nice dark pool activity going on here. All right, so you can also look at the short interest levels here. Look, short interest level is kind of stabilizing off late here, and now we'll go into the option market and look at BBBY. All right, so look, right now BBBY is bullish from an overall flow perspective. That's a good story here, and from an algo flow perspective, it's negative. That tells you net flow is negative right now. And as you scan through here, nothing much going on in BBBY because it's a low price stock here. The moment stock price is so low, there is not too much interest in the options market. But nonetheless here, look, let's go into the positive spot GEX here. From a spot GEX perspective, look, 5 is a slightly bigger level, but what this tells is really because these levels are so low, they don't even cross 0.2 here. There is nothing much going on here from a options market perspective, but from a stock market perspective, as we looked at the chart here, BBBY, let's see here, right here, from a, it's got a nice and high short squeeze score here, days to cover 4.9. Stock has gone higher in one day. That's why it can continue to go higher, but be slightly careful and don't put all the money in one stock as usual. But it's showing some positive sentiment here. This has a potential to go higher, but look, it's got from a cash flow perspective, negative cash flow, but overall score is also negative. So fundamentally it's not good, but it's got a potential to go higher. So with that, we'll end here. Thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.